Beep beep! Hello, Hachi! Oh, hold on. Why isn't my screen going? There we go. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties there for like a split second. So my first doodle stream back. Yay! So one thing I wanna share with you all. I'm trying to keep my voice like kind of on the down low today, because the other day I went to a convention, and let's just say I kind of overdid it. I kind of overdid it a little bit. So I've got not one, not two, but 3 different drinks with me. I've got some tea and some lemonade and some water, some classic water. The tea is jasmine tea, and it's got some honey in it. Hopefully it'll stay warm like through the remainder of the stream. For some reason, I always have bad luck when it comes to like drinking tea on stream, because I either like overshoot it and it's like way too hot for me to drink the entire time, or in most cases I don't time it right and it gets like lukewarm halfway through and then it tastes gross. I don't know. I'm just one of those kinds of people, like I don't like cold or lukewarm tea. It just tastes it tastes wrong, okay? Tea has to be at least like pretty warm, you know. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you. But I have many drawings because I didn't get to do my doodle stream the weekend before I went to Japan. So, you know what that means? It's big share time. All right. Starting off, this is the first drawing that I did. I did it on the Monday when I had my Minecraft stream, and I was talking about the Mob Talker mod. So this is the creeper girl that was in the game. You know, creeper. Ah man, you know. Yeah, she was one of my favorites. I would say probably the gas character was my like top favorite of all of them, but I love the creeper girl. And then the next day, I drew Derpy from My Little Pony. I don't know why. I was watching some of the old like Infection AU My Little Pony videos, like not necessarily like the story ones, but just like people talking about them and like the like fad of that a couple months ago. Was that this year? I can't even remember. Like time flies so fast for me. I can't keep up with trends anymore. I guess I'm getting too old. But yeah, I think she looks really cute. I kind of based her more on the like G1 sort of look with like the little bow in her tail and everything. Yeah, I want to draw more ponies. I gotta go back to my roots sometime. Because I used to draw My Little Pony characters like all the time, but it was horrible because I was like 11 years old. Alright, and then we skipped a day, and this was the day that I drew. Oh, there we go. This was the day that I played Yeek. So I drew Mello and the other guy. What's his name? The guy with the sign. And the sign says, "Ugh." It's too bad I suck at drawing men. But you know what? You know what? This is why we doodle, so we can practice. Although I did not realize how tall the guy from Yeek was. I looked it up because I was like, oh, well, like what sort of like height difference do they have? He's like 6'1". I was like, what? He does not look 6'1" in the game, but okay. All right, and then this was drawn when I did my my karaoke stream. So I drew Noodle, my favorite gorilla, and the oh no, I dropped my pencil. Hold on. Emergency! I dropped my pencil. Sorry, I was charging it because I may or may not have forgotten to charge it. I charged my iPad, but I forgot to charge my pencil. So I've been doing that while, you know, I've been explaining. But yeah, so I drew Noodle, and I drew the girl from A Monster in Paris. I forget her name because it's been a while since I've seen that movie. I watched that, like, my French teacher showed that to us when I was in high school, so I haven't seen it since I was in high school. Alright, and then this next one, this one I kind of counted for 2 days. You'll notice that I left room for another drawing, but I just never got to it because this was the drawing that I did on the plane to Japan. That's why it's listed as like the 18th and the 19th, because I traveled out like really early in the morning on the 18th, and then like by the time I got to like draw stuff, it was the 19th. So yeah, but so these were two of the movies that I watched on the plane. So I drew Paprika and Coraline. I had seen both of these movies, you know, prior to the flight, but you know, I just thought it was cute. I liked both of them. You know, I only watched like a couple of movies that I hadn't seen before. Like I watched these two, and then I also watched Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which, oh my god, that movie was cracking me up. I was laughing so hard. People probably thought that I was watching like a grade A comedy. No. Well, maybe, depending on your views of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. That's what I should have drawn. Oh well. And then I also watched Long Legs. I've been really curious about Long Legs. I think I explained it before in one of my other streams. It was like, you know, I had heard some like very like contrasting opinions. Also, hello, people joining. I'd heard some very contrasting opinions about it when it came out. Like, some people were like, oh my god, it's like so scary, it's the best horror movie of the year. And then some people were saying like, oh, it's horrible, don't watch it, it's really bad. Here's my opinion, here's my review of it. I thought that it was not too bad. I had a bit of a hard time following the story, but I think that was mainly in part to the fact that I could only like hear out of one headphone. Because like, okay, so on the flight over, so you know, they usually give you like headphones so you can like watch movies and stuff on your flight. And like when I plugged my stuff in, like I could only hear out of one headphone. And so I asked Mama, I was like, does only one of your headphones work? Is that supposed to happen? And she was like, no. So I thought that it was just the headset that was broken. So I asked for a new one. And then the stewardess, they gave me a new one, and that one didn't work either. So I guess I just had a faulty seat. So that kind of sucked. Yeah, I didn't hear too much of anything about Long Legs, like, you know, story-wise. I just knew it was about a girl and, oh my god, what's his name? And Nick Cage was in it. That was all. That was all that I had heard about it. But yeah, so I thought that it was fine. I just, you know, I was having a hard time because of my headset. And it's a really quiet movie too, so that didn't help. Alright, and then the next day, got a familiar face here, and the next day I drew Meguro and Gakpoid. So this was the day that we went to the sushi making class and also the Samurai and Ninja Museum, so I was going to draw Tokiyuki from Elusive Samurai, but I had already drawn him, so I wanted to draw someone new, so I drew Gakpoid. I like him, he's cool. And you know, I think I mentioned before that I shared a picture of Meguro with the people at the sushi making place, and they thought that she was really cute. I think she's really cute too. So then the next day I wanted to draw, but I was just so tired. So I decided to make, because the 22nd was when we went to the anime museum. So I decided that my next doodle would be a bit of a traditional drawing. So I drew Usada Pekora and her little friend, her little Nosagi, sitting in the rain. Yeah, I don't really draw traditional anymore. You could probably tell based on how rough it looks. But, you know, it was a little bit of a challenge to me, also because the paper was really small. Like, I mean, it's blown up in this picture, but it's a pretty small piece of paper. And also, this is probably going to be the only drawing in this that's colored. Yeah, so I thought it was a cute concept. Alright, and then the next day, I drew Reimu and Patchouli from Toho Project. I got these little, like, I don't know how much you guys know about Toho, but like, there's like a meme. There's these meme characters. They're called Yukuris. You've probably seen them before. It's like the heads of the characters, but they look like kind of silly looking. Like I said, you've probably seen it before because they're like all over the place, multiple different fandoms. But I got these little keychains of Yukari characters, and these were the ones that I got. It's actually kind of funny because I got the one that was Patchouli. That's this one. I got Patchouli first, and so I was like, okay, I'll get two more because one of my coworkers likes Toho, and so like I'll give one of them to my coworker, and then I'll keep the other one because they have like little chains on them that you could like hook onto each other. And so when I got back to the hotel room to like open them, I opened up the first one and it was another Patchouli. I was like, are you kidding me? And then I opened the other one and I got Reimu, so I was like, all right, I guess they're getting Patchouli. And then the next day they had there was like a vocal synth concert that was happening. It was an online vocal synth concert, and Zundamon was one of the performers, so I drew Zundamon. I tried a little bit of a different perspective on her hand. It's really hard drawing a character pointing forward. I don't know how Araki does it with Jotaro. He makes it look so easy. But I love Zundamon. Like I said, Zundamon is the one, or maybe I didn't say it, but yeah. Zundamon is the one that I got at Akihabara, at the big camera store there. And then we've got Miss Noko-tan. This was when we went to Nara, you know, with all the deer. So I felt that I had to draw Noko-tan, and then I also drew Ina because we went to Dotonbori on the same day, and you know, Osaka is kind of known for its takoyaki. So, I thought, taco girl, takoyaki, you see the process? Yeah, I think they're both pretty cute. I'm pretty proud. I like the perspective that I did with Nokotan. And then this next one was kind of a quick one. I drew 2015 Snow Miku and also San from Princess Mononoke. We've been going to like a lot of Ghibli stores, so and Princess Mononoke is my favorite Ghibli movie, so yeah. And also Snow Miku. I just like Snow Miku. Alright, and then I skipped a couple days. But so this was the doodle that I did on the way home. These were the other movies that I watched on the flight back home. I drew Ramona Flowers. Though I drew her more based on on the Scott Pilgrim anime, which I'm gonna be honest, I never actually finished it. I probably should. Like, I mean, I've seen the movie. I haven't read the comic, but I've seen like the first couple episodes of the anime. Yeah, she's pretty cute. And then I drew oh my gosh, what was her name? It's like the girl from Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm like her name is like escaping me. But yeah, I hadn't seen Everywhere Everything All at Once. But I really enjoyed it. I like that it was like a bit of a different take on the whole like multiverse sort of thing, because like usually with like multiverse movies, they have it be like the same character but they're this thing, the same character but they're this thing. But I like that they did something different with it. Well, but what's her actor's name? Like Stephanie Sue or something? I'm really bad with names, so I'm sorry, y'all. I also kind of gave up on her hair because it's so many braids. I hate drawing braids. Ironically, my character has braids, but we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, she was cute, and I also did like a tiny little doodle of the dog and the robot. Yeah, I was right, Stephanie Sue. I drew the dog and the robot from Robot Dreams. This was the only I think this was the only Best Animated nomination from last year that I hadn't seen. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to watch this. And it was really cute. I liked it a lot. I like it was a little bit sad, but it wasn't like, bawling your eyes. It was a happy sort of sad, like at the end, you're like happy for the characters, but at the same time, it's kind of sad. Bittersweet. That's what I would call it. It's still a really good movie. I would recommend it, but I was not expecting it. I was not expecting the movie to take place in pre-9/11 New York. That was a shock to me when they like showed the city and they had the Twin Towers. I was like, oh, well, all right. And then the next day I drew Megurine Luca, the Vocaloid, because I got a really nice figure of her when I was at Akihabara. I got a lot of Vocaloid stuff in Akihabara, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, because I got a scale figure of Luca, I got Nendoroids of Rin and Mako and a Snow Miku. Of course, I got Zundamon. And I actually we went to a Taito arcade. Taito is like the new name for the Sega arcades, if you didn't know. And they had a plushie of the Miku variant from Sadistic Music Factory, and I really like Sadistic Music Factory. I like the PV for it in Project Diva. So I felt so dumb because one of the workers came over and she like repositioned the plushie for me because I was trying so hard to win it, and I still messed up. And then I asked her for help again, and then I finally got it, and she was like, "Oh, you got it! Great job!" I was like, "Yeah, thank you." Yeah, so that was my big win from an arcade. I only won, I think, 2 things from the arcade. I got that plushie, and I also got a an edamame keychain, you know, to go with my Zundamon. As you too. And yeah, so that was the last drawing that I did this past week. I kind of haven't drawn very much because I've been trying to get over my jet lag. Like usually when I draw stuff, I draw it at night, you know, like right now. But you know, at night, as of recently, you know, I've been just so tired. So, you know, I would rather prioritize getting a good night's rest, you know. But it's fine, because we're here now, and I'm gonna doodle, and I'm gonna be honest. The past couple hours before the stream started, I have been sleeping. I am big sleepyhead. But today, we're gonna be doodling yet another Vocaloid, because I can't help myself. We're gonna be drawing Utatane Pico. Yay! Because today is his birthday! Oh my gosh. He's 14 now. I can't believe it. Ah! Pico is like, he's one of my favorite male Vocaloids. I was surprised. I saw on Twitter somebody posted a the most popular Vocaloids from this year, and he was like number 4 or something. Like he was like way high up. And it's really interesting because if you don't know, Pico has kind of been discontinued. He's never gotten any sort of new update beyond V2. Actually, no. I'm gonna redo. I drew him once before for Halloween because Circus P used him in his song for Halloween. So I drew that variant of him. So now I'm gonna do the regular one. Yeah, I don't know if he. Well, you see, I don't know because like, I think the ranking was like, I'm not sure if it was like overall or if it was like just in Japan. Like Circus P is really popular, but like I don't know how popular he is in like overseas, you know? Like unfortunately not a lot of Western Vocaloid producers get really big in Japan or anything. Like I know Magical Cure Love Shot got really popular in Japan, and of course Echo is really popular like everywhere. It's I think it's like the 3rd most popular Vocaloid song, something like that. Like 2nd or 3rd, somewhere like that. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm doing with this pose. Actually, I think I got an idea. I'm cooking up something. Trust the process. Yeah, so so this past week has been very interesting for me because my my supervisor came into our workplace today, or not today, the past on a Thursday and Friday. That's what it was. I was very surprised. I was not expecting her to show up on just some like random day in December. But you know, she just came to like, you know, check on us and, you know, see how the shop was going and everything. Seeing, you know, if there were any problems, you know. Just, you know, management stuff, you know how it is. And she also brought us like some like bakery stuff. So that was really nice. On Friday, she brought like a big box of stuff in, because there's like a bakery that opened up nearby, and they had some pretty good stuff. They had some of the like the mochi donuts, you know, where they're like the like these kind, you know, those kinds of donuts. And they were pretty good. They were, I would say their donuts were like on par with Mr. Donuts variations. They were pretty good. And then also, are you okay? Okay. I also got like, there was like, in the thing, there was like a cup of like, just like cake, like tiny little cake slices. There were two cups of cake slices. One of them was like bright red, and then the other one was, it kind of almost looked like a cheesecake. I'm not sure what it was, but I picked up the red one because I thought that it was red velvet, and I love me a red velvet cake. I am a red velvet fan, and I'm not talking about the K-pop group. But so I got home. My coworker took the other cake cup, so I'll have to ask her like what kind of cake it was when I see her next time. Yeah, so when I took it home, I ate it, and it turns out it was actually a strawberry cake. Like, it had strawberries baked into it and stuff, and they were pretty good. I will admit. You know what? He's not looking the way that I want. I'm out of practice. I haven't drawn in a while. Yeah, I used to be like super obsessed with red velvet cake. I would have it like every year for my birthday. Is that in cheesecake? I don't know. I feel like there would be a watermelon cake. I've never had one, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if one existed. It probably wouldn't have like actual watermelon in it, maybe. But it would probably be like watermelon flavoring. It's like watermelon flavoring does not taste like actual watermelon. At least to me it doesn't. Watermelon flavoring, it tastes too sugary to me. I like the natural sweetness of like regular watermelon. Same with grape. I don't like the like artificial grape flavor. But then to be fair, I don't really like red grapes in general, because that's usually like what they're based on, right? I think. Like, I'm more of a white grape fan. I don't know. I feel like red grapes are like more juicy, and white grapes are more crunchy, and I like the crunchiness. I do like grape juice though. Grape juice is very good. Ugh, I am like screwing up the anatomy big time. Ew. Boring, lazy, yawning. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. where I'm working, like the area that I work, they've started playing Christmas music now, and I got freaking jump scared on my way in because so when I was growing up, like while I was in dance, uh, when I was in dance, the studio that I danced at, they used to, well, they still do it, but they do this like a Christmas show, like I want to say like a pageant, but like I don't think that's really the right word for it. Um, so they have like, you know, they have like a list of songs, and we do all of them. Basically, I did it for I want to say like at least 5 years or something like that. I did it from probably more than 5 years. I did it from like the time I was in like I want to say like fourth grade up until I want to say like my sophomore year of high school, something like that. So basically I did it for a really long time, and I was a little bit traumatized because like it's a long tough story. Basically, I did not have the best time ever when I was in dance. Like, you know, I've always had like a lot of self-worth issues, and you know, during this Christmas performance, you had to like audition for like a lot of to be in a lot of dances. You had to like audition and be like really good at the dances, and I was not. So that affected my self-worth a lot. So like every year during this time, I would get like really depressed, and it was eventually, because like when I was a kid, like I didn't really have that problem, because like when you're like little, they don't really make you audition, but you know, as you get older, you have to like audition for the more advanced roles. And you know, like I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. You know, I totally get it. You want people who are going to do the dance well to do the dance, you know. But that still that still doesn't mean that you know, it's not gonna negatively affect me when I try every single year, and every single year I fail and I get yelled at, you know. Like, you know, that's still rough, you know. So like I don't blame my dance instructors or anything, you know. It is what it is. But so yeah, so that was it was a really tough time. But they started playing like music that I have only ever heard being played during those shows, and so I had like Vietnam flashbacks. Like they started playing the songs, and I'd be like I thought I would never hear that song again. And like, cause I did the show for so many years, like I've pretty much memorized all of those dances. I probably don't remember them as well as I used to, but I definitely still remember the ones that I had to learn quite vividly. But I stopped doing the show, you know, like I said, I stopped doing it after my my sophomore year. Just cuz I was just so tired. At that point, I was like I'm done trying to do this anymore, cuz every year I get really sad and I get really depressed, and then I make everybody around me miserable, and you know, I just don't want to live like that. So I stopped doing it, and yeah, it felt a lot better. Well, I'm glad that you all enjoy my art. I also just like I didn't really have a lot of friends when I was in dance either, like especially like later on. Just cuz like I don't know, I just didn't really click with a lot of the girls. You know, it's not the fault of like anybody, I don't think. It's just, you know, sometimes you click with people better than others. And you know, I was very much, I've always been a very nerdy person, and a lot of the people there are not. Yeah, sorry, I sneezed. You know, it's not a bad thing either way. It's just like I said, you know, some people just click better with others, and you know, that's life. There was one guy, I don't know if I talked about this guy before. There's one guy in my class that I swear he did not like me. Thank you. He did. I for the longest time I thought that he did not like me, and so funny thing, he's kind of in Cirque du Soleil now. So I can say that I had beef with someone who's in Cirque du Soleil. Well, kind of. We were both like 15 or 16, so you know, it's probably not something that. Let me explain. So many years ago, this guy, he was like the top of the class. Like all the teachers loved him because he was really good. But like, so for one of the dances, there was like 4 of us that had to do like a specific move, and the teacher was asking, oh, who all does this move? And the guy said, this girl, and this girl does it. And I called out, oh, I do it too. And he looked back at me. I was like, yeah. Like just like kind of like dismissive. And so I was like, oh, that was kind of weird. You know, that was, you know, okay. And then there was like another time, I think this was like a different year, but so they were setting up our places at the ballet bar, because you know, I used to do ballet, so during those classes they would have us exercise with the bar. And so they like categorized us by age. So I was like the youngest of my year. So I was like I was like a couple months older than he is. So I was on like the end of the people that were like the same graduating year as me, and like the beginning of the year behind me. And he was on like the opposite side of the bar from me, and he like said to one of his friends, I can't believe she's older than us. I was like, oh. Like, oh, okay. Like that's when I kind of thought, oh yeah, he does not like me. Like, I don't know why, because I never said anything to him, like, ever. You know, he was just another person in my class to me, you know. I just, like, you know, it was just so, like, wow, okay. Like, he's never spoken to me. I've never spoken to him. So, like, I didn't know, like, why he was saying that. And that's kind of just my reaction. That's kind of my assumption about everybody. I just assume that everybody hates me until I find out that people don't. So yeah, so then a few years, I don't know how much later this was, but like one year, my dance studio, they were doing a haunted house, And you guys know me. You guys know me. I love my spooky stuff. So, you know, and Papa B, he has like, he has a lot of like Halloween decorations that he didn't really need anymore. So he just decided to like let the dance studio have them. And so, you know, after me and him show up with like a trunk full of like Halloween decorations, and you know, I was also like an actor in this Halloween thing. I was playing like a cursed doll character. It was fun. I had a good time. I love scaring people, so you know. I had a good time. But you know, like, we actually got to talk a little bit, and you know, I think he became a lot nicer to me. Like, he didn't like say anything rude to me, and you know, I think after that we ended up on like pretty decent terms. I don't know what was going on in that time when he was like acting kind of mean to me, but you know, I like to believe that people can change, especially when you're a teenager, because you're always going through something when you're a teenager, you know what I mean? So, you know, wherever he is now, you know, doing his Cirque du Soleil thing, sir, I hope you are having the time of your life, and I wish you nothing but the best. I will never know why he was like very dismissive of me. Like, I know I wasn't the best dancer ever. Like, I'm not gonna pretend or anything. I was nothing special. I just don't know why he was saying those things about me. And like, if I ever saw him again, I would probably ask him like, did you like hate me for 1 year? like no judgment. Like, I just want to know, because like, you were saying some like mean stuff about me back then. I just wanna put this to rest so I can like stop like thinking like, did he not like me? Did he hate me? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so back to being at work. So yeah, so like I said, our store supervisor came in, and well, the store owner, she came in, and she said that we've been doing a really good job. So yeah, so things have been going pretty well, I would say. I don't know if this is gonna work out. This drawing is gonna work out the way that I want it to. But the one thing I was not expecting, so I don't know if I've like explained or like told this story or not. So I have, or I should say had. So there was this one coworker where I work, and let's just say he would make some. I only saw him like once a week, but he would make some, let's say, questionable comments sometimes. So he used to say stuff like, "Oh, you can put like this plushie in a jar or something." Like, the first time I heard him say that, he'd only like said it to me, and like, you know, I thought that was kind of weird. But you know, I'm so chronically online that I'm just like, I'm kind of desensitized to that sort of thing. So like, you know, I was kind of just like, okay, that was kind of a weird thing to say to a coworker, but you know, like, whatever. I just kind of like brushed aside. And then then I found out from one of my other coworkers that he had been like making those kinds of jokes like to like customers, and that's when I was like, ooh, yeah, that's probably not a good thing. That's not something you should be like saying to customers. You know, that's kind of inappropriate. Like even if they don't know the context behind that sort of joke, like, you know, you should know better than that. So, you know, they talked to our boss about it, but my coworker, the coworker that like reported it, they said that, you know, they felt that, you know, they weren't doing enough about it, so they quit. That was kind of red flag number one. So, you know, I was kind of put off by it, but, you know, our manager, she said that she like talked to him about it, and he said that he wouldn't say those sorts of things anymore. Right. And, you know, for a while, I didn't hear him like say anything inappropriate like that. And also I heard that he got into like a big fight with a customer, like talking about like religion or something, which that is not what our store is about. Our store, it is not the kind of place to be like, you know, having big religious discussions, you know. And like, again, that's something that, like, you know, if you're like talking with a customer and you're having that kind of or not a customer, with a coworker, if you're having that kind of discussion with a coworker that's like okay with having that kind of discussion, you know, like that's one thing. But, you know, having like a big argument with the customer about it, like, oh my gosh. And it got so bad, I guess, that they had to ask the customer to leave. So, you know, that's probably not a good look for the store, you know. I'm trying to make his tail look like a heart. It is not working out for me. That's probably what I'm missing. Yeah, so that was kind of red flag number one, like I said. And so I personally did not like hear him like really say any more of those kinds of jokes to customers, but I guess apparently he started to like say them again. And he would say like some other like kind of inappropriate jokes around other customers. And there were also some times where like he would kind of be a bit of like a high pressure salesman, and so that would make some customers kind of uncomfortable. And then we found out that so some of the people that like work around where our store is located, some people have like they told one of my other coworkers that they don't want to shop at our store anymore because of that guy like saying those sorts of things. Like they were so uncomfortable by that. And so yeah, so when our store owner came in, funny enough, so like she was only like in town for like 2 days, and it was not one of the days that he was scheduled to work, but he ended up coming in anyways. So she was like, let's have a talk. And she took him to the back, and I was like, oh boy. So like me and my other coworker, cause she told her about like that sort of thing, and like some of the stuff that he had been saying. And so like I didn't, it was like he came in like around the time that I was supposed to leave, so I didn't stay for like the whole time, because, you know, I wanted to go home. I had a stream planned. But like I did hear, like, while I was like getting packed up and stuff, I I heard him say in the back, like, I had no idea. I don't know what, I don't know about that. Like saying that he didn't know of like the meaning behind those things, and I was just like side eye. Like, yeah, right. You don't know what those mean. Yeah, okay. So like, we both thought, the two of us that were working at that time, we both thought that it was just gonna be like his final warning, you know, because he had been warned once before, so, you know, 3 strikes you're out. Like, that was what we were thinking was happening. But no, it turns out, like, the next day when we came in, uh, we like we asked her about it. We were like, so is everything good with that person? And she was like, no, I let him go. I don't want to risk, you know, him starting that up again. And we were like, whoa. Like, you know, like, I get it. Like, from a business standpoint, that's not the kind of person you would want representing that kind of store. A store where, you know, we don't sell inappropriate types of things, really. So, like, I understand her thought process. I just was not expecting it. But yeah, so now we need to find where. I think she's like maybe thinking about bringing on the person, our seasonal hire person. I think she might be like thinking about having him be like a full-time employee, but we'll just have to see. I hope that like, if that is the case, that we find someone to replace him pretty quick, because I don't know about working Christmas Eve with just 4 people. I don't know how busy it's gonna be. I've never worked on Christmas Eve, so, because like my last job, they didn't have us work on Sunday, and last year Christmas Eve was on a Sunday, so I didn't have to work. Teehee. Yeah, so this will be my first Christmas Eve having to work. I was very fortunate though. I did not have to work on Black Friday, which I heard that Black Friday at my job was very hectic. So I was like, haha, I didn't have to be there. I got to have fun being in Japan. Visiting shrines or whatever I was doing on that day, I don't remember. He's looking pretty cute, I think. Yeah, it looks like a heart. It looks like a heart. That's what I'm telling myself. Yeah, I had to work Black Friday at my last job, and it was pretty intense. I mean, the whole holiday season at my past job was pretty intense. But yeah, so I was, and where I work now, it's a tiny little store. So, you know, I'm I'm very glad I didn't have to try to maneuver. I don't know how many people we can allow in the store, like, at maximum before it becomes a fire hazard. So let's just say I'm very happy I did not have to deal with that. And thankfully, you know, on Christmas Eve, we have like shorter hours, so that won't be too much of an issue, I'm hoping. Oh, I have a funny I have a funny Vocaloid related story to tell from when I was in Japan. So, and I know Mama B knows where this story is going if she's even awake to watch this. Uh, so while we were in Japan, there was when we were staying in Tokyo, the first couple nights we were in Tokyo, there was a department store that was right next to our hotel. So the department store, it had like some pretty like common Japanese brands. There was like a Uniqlo, there was a McDonald's, there was a Daiso, and on one floor they had like an eyeglass shop. It was like a glasses, and they had like a section that was like for magazines and stuff and whatnot. But the eyeglass store, they were doing like a merch collab. They had like Vocaloid themed glasses, and so they had like a little display, and they had like little like the little cloths that you use to wipe the glasses and everything, and they had these little like keychain plushy things. And I have an Ida bag that's like Miku themed, so I wanted to get one of the little keychains to put on my bag. So I got one of the keychains, and I went over to the place where it said register to go and pay for it. And so like while I was over at like the eyeglass station, I saw there was like an area, like a sit down area with like people over there. But so I thought that area was for like if you were getting glasses, and you had to, they had to like get your prescription and everything so you could get the glasses, right? Like that was my thinking. So I go over to the cashier to pay for my little keychain, and the cashier, he looks at the little keychain, and he looks back and forth at his like screen in it a couple times, and he like turns and talks to his coworker, and then like then this guy comes over by the register, and he tells the cashier to give me the thing back, and then he like gestures for me to come with him. And I'm like, oh my god, I took this to the wrong register. I felt so bad. He brought me back over to like the area with the eyeglasses, like the sit down area, and so I paid for it over there, and I was like I'm so sorry, and he was like, oh, it's okay. Like at the time I kind of like I just like laughed it off, on the way out, but on the inside I wanted to cry. I was I was so embarrassed. I don't know. He probably thought that I was like trying to steal it or something. Like, no, I'm not a thief. I'm just stupid. I don't know. They probably have that sort of thing happen all the time. I would imagine. But still, it was very embarrassing to me. Yeah, you know what? It's okay. That was probably like the most embarrassing thing to happen to me while I was in Japan. So, I think that's okay. Moral of the story is accidents happen. I mean, like I said, the guy was pretty chill about it. So, all's well that ends well. Also, I fixed their display because they had like a little display of like they had like a like Nendoroids of like Reen and Len append, but Len's arm came off. So I was like, this, I can't let this happen. So I put Len's arm back on for them. So I think that overrides my my oopsie daisy, my good deed, my good deed of fixing their little Len so that, you know, it doesn't, his stuff doesn't get lost or anything. I'm not a bad person, I'm just a silly goober. I can't help it. I'm just a Bakadere. Yeah, so now I at least have a fun story to tell. Oh yeah, also another thing that happened to me on Friday. So I mentioned on in my post on Friday that my car battery was having issues, and that's why I didn't stream. So I wanted to stream Hollow Cure on Friday. So I'm probably gonna have to move it to a different day. Maybe I'll do it on like Thursday or something. We'll see. So, you know, after I had like, I clocked out of work and everything, and I was, you know, heading to my car, and then I got into my car, and I turned on the ignition, and it like started up for a second, and then it turned off, and I was like, is there a problem? Did I not start it correctly? And so I tried it a couple more times, and it was just not going. And I was like, uh-oh, that's probably not a good thing. So I called Mama B, and I was like, the car isn't turning on. And she was like, did you turn on the ignition? I was like, yes, I turned on the ignition. I know how to start a car. And she was like, oh, the battery might be dead. And I was like, oh my gosh, no way. Cause like I was just reading, we got like a newsletter thing that like you know, to like, everybody check your batteries and check your tires so that, you know, you're safe during the holiday season. So I thought that was kind of ironic. But so she was like, okay, I'm gonna have Papa B go up and help you. And Papa B was like, did you leave your lights on in the car? And I was like, no, I forget that I have lights in the car like almost every single time. And it's true, like even at night I'll start driving and I'll be like, why is it so dark? And I'm like, oh yeah, I have to turn on my lights. I was like, no, I didn't leave them on. I never have them on. Plus, if I try to leave my car with the lights on, it beeps at me. So, you know, that's not gonna happen. So then, you know, I go back into work because, you know, like that was my that was my little rationalization. I was like, you know what? At least if this is going to happen, I'm glad that it's happening at work where there is heat and food and water and company. So, you know, I'm not like stranded in the middle of nowhere. And also internet service. So I stayed in there while I waited for Papa B, and even my boss, she was like, did you leave your car lights on? And I was like, no, I didn't. So then Papa B finally arrived, and he brought some like jumper cables. So, you know, he tested around with the car, and then like once he like opened up the hood, he found that the like one of the plugs, it was like one of the plugs was like undone or something like that. So he just had to like push it back in, and the car started up just fine. So yeah, it was crisis subverted. He didn't have to like jump. He didn't have to use the jumper cables. He didn't have to jump start the car or anything. And all's well that ends well. There we go. And there's our little Pico. Oh, he's so cute! I probably should have done the eyes the other way. Oh well. Yeah, and like he checked when he got there. He checked my lights and was like, "Oh yeah, no, they're off." And I was like, "I told you so." Alright, I'm gonna turn off. Oh, that really sucks. Yeah, I'm happy I didn't have to get a new car. Like my coworkers were teasing me because they were like, "Why don't you have like jumper cables or anything in your car?" I'm like, this is my mom's car. If there isn't something in the car, that's not my fault. That's my mom's fault. Alright, I'm gonna turn off the thing for a second. So I can get our next doodle up and running. Actually, I don't think I really need a reference for this one. We're gonna turn that off. I'm gonna draw Marotsuki from Yume Nikki. Ah. It would help if I was actually using the right tool. Oopsie daisy. I'm gonna do her kind of like in a chibi look. And the nice thing about Yume Nikki is that it is very simplistic looking. So I can kind of draw the characters just like however I want, really. Ugh, why am I getting hungry all of a sudden? It's weird. I like wasn't hungry when I started, and now all of a sudden I'm hungry. I guess that's just living for you. Sorry, hiccup. Oh no! Ah! Oh, never mind. I picked up my lemonade, and I thought that I got water on the table. I thought that like the condensation from it got on the table, but no, it was just a piece of plastic. Oh, BBB, you silly Billy. Maybe I need to sleep more. No food, only sleep. Sleep is for eat. Yes, Yume Nikki, the original Omori. I've also been playing while I was in Japan. I've been playing like Animal Crossing for New Leaf. So I get to do the Thanksgiving thing, but I never actually completed it because the stupid town wouldn't give me a flat mushroom. And the turkey guy was like, "Oh, I need a flat mushroom." And I was like, "Well, there aren't any flat mushrooms around, so It's too bad. So now I have like a bunch of just like random freaking ingredients that my villagers gave me. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I guess I'm gonna save them for next year so I don't have to go through all that again. But, you know, whatever, it's fine. And now I'm gonna have to like deal with the rude snowmen. I hate those snowmen. They're like, ugh, you made me like 1 centimeter too big. Now I'm gonna suffer because I'm not perfect enough. I'm like, oh my god, shut up. Though I will say, the snowmen in New Leaf are nicer they're nicer than the ones in New Horizons because they can actually be useful. Like, sure, you know, the snowmen, if you make them perfect, they can give you, like, snowflakes. But, if you roll them a certain way, then they can turn into, like bingo guys, and you can get prizes, and it's nice. I like the prizes that they give you. Gonna give her her knife. Yay! Oh, she's so cute. I'm not gonna make her hands really detailed. They're just gonna be orbs. Well, the snowmen in New Horizons, like they don't have that feature in New Horizons. One of the many features that they just decided not to have in New Horizons. I know sometimes when I get onto New Leaf, because like I'm so used to like crafting items. I'm so used to crafting items all the time that like I'm like, what am I supposed to do with all this random crap that I've gotten? Like I'll get something, I'll be like, oh, I can make this thing. Like, oh wait, no I can't. Because I don't have crafting. It's also weird that to me that I can't like put like I can't place items outside. Ugh, this is how Leah felt when when we played Overwatch Classic together. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this eyeball. All right, now time for the fun part. Yay! Yeah, I did feel kind of bad for her when we were playing that, because like I don't know, I'm just so used to like, oh yeah, this is how you used to do things in Overwatch 1, and you know, she's like a newer player. So I felt like I had to teach her. So now when they have the next Overwatch Classic mode, I'll have to teach her about all that. I don't totally remember like I don't totally remember all of the reworks. Because like, you know, I'm a one trick. I only really pay attention to like Diva and Mercy. But I don't know, it might be better because I think the next one should have like Moira, possibly, and I know that's her main. I just thought that it was so funny when we were playing, and she was like, "Is there Moira in this game?" And I was like, "No, there isn't." And she was like, "Okay, well, maybe if there's like, what did she say? What did she say? Like Ash or something?" I was like, "She's not in that one either." And she was like, who is it? Who is in this game mode?" So I don't know. Maybe she'll do better. She'll be a little more familiar. But to me, it was very nice and nostalgic. That when I first started playing Overwatch, like it was my very first first person shooter, and I only started playing it because there were pretty girls. That's the only reason why I start playing anything, is if there's pretty girls. Or femboys, but you know, they're basically the same thing. But yeah, so like I immediately fell in love with Diva, and I kind of made her my whole personality for a while. And it was also funny because like I was talking about it with like some of my non VTuber friends, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, are you guys excited for Torb Turret play of the games?" And I was like, "Wait a minute." None of my friends, like they were like my high school friends, and I was like, "Wait, none of them played Overwatch in 2016." So they don't know. Does he know? Like, I remember, like, when I was in... The game came out... I'm gonna make a lot of you feel really old. The game came out when I was in, like, late middle school. So... So I was the only person in my friend group that had played it. And I was like, I tried so hard to get my friends to start playing it. I was like, "Oh, you guys should start playing Overwatch so we can duo together. It'll be fun." And they're like, "Yeah, maybe, I don't know." And now, like, after, I don't know, I think maybe one or two of them started playing it, like, before Overwatch 1 shut down. But now that Overwatch 2 has come out, like, most of my high school friends are playing it now, and so I'm like, "Yay! Now I have friends that I can play with," but I don't have time to play it, like, ever. And also, most of them play on PC, and I play on console, so it's like, I mean, I know you can do like crossplay, but you know, I feel bad because like it's kind of different. And my PC account is like tied to, you know, to my VTuber account, so like I don't want to, like, you know, I don't want to be that guy, you know. Beep boop beep beep boop. I am not a Wrecking Ball fan. I do not like that rat. Oh, you know, I will be excited. I will be excited when the next classic Overwatch comes out, because if they, which I'm pretty sure they will have Sombra by that point, and I would love to play old Sombra again. Oh my gosh. I remember when they had the first like capture the flag game mode. Oh my god, I used to have so much fun playing that. I would play as Sombra, and like I would put my translocator on my team's point, on my team's capture point. I would sneak over to the enemy's flag. I would capture it, and then just teleport back and win. Yes, it's Madotsuki. And then they changed it in the later ones. And they changed it so that you can't use your abilities when you have the flag. And then I stopped playing it because it wasn't fun anymore. Yeah, so there we go. There's our 2 doodles for the night. Yay! They're both so cute. I love them. All right. I guess now I'm gonna go and get a snack. I only drank like 1.5 of my drink, so you know, I guess it's better to come prepared than to not have enough to drink. Which, spoiler alert, is why my throat hurts today. So I was doing too much, and then I didn't have a drink, and yeah, that was embarrassing. But yeah, it was a fun time. I'm glad that my voice hasn't completely gone out. So yeah, that'll be it for me for today. I'll see you all sometime next week. So have a beautiful day. Bye.